Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Kat and I wrote an album called The Lavender Theory, and today I'll be discussing track 9, This Isn't For Us. Whew. So this song is gonna be hard to talk about. It had me in tears writing it. I remember just being around this person for the first time in a long time and thinking, I don't even know. I think I was just kind of still amazed with their presence, and we had dated before and it's just never worked out. Anytime we try, it has never worked out, and fortunately we have stayed friends through it all. But this song, I sat down to write it because I was really struggling with this idea of it's never worked out, but why do I want it to work out? But how many times have we tried to make it work out and we've ended up back at square one? So definitely one of the more emotional songs on the album, especially for me. Writing it, I just sat there crying on my piano one night. I was back home in West Palm, so I had access to the piano and everyone was asleep, and we have an electronic grand piano and I had it turned down so lightly, and I was just trying to get some composing done while I was in town and around a piano, and I was just crying and sobbing, and I loved it at the same time because it was just this is that raw emotion that I needed for this album to pull out of me. But yeah, so the chorus, just want our hands to meet again. I'll look at you and you'll look at me. And in that moment, we'll both agree that this isn't for us. And I think this chorus is very much about us both having to accept the fact that, hey, maybe this is never going to work out. Maybe we're really beating this dead horse. I think that's the saying, right? And then there's also a lot of stories in this song. When your eyes met my gaze as we sat and danced our fingers across the black and white keys. It's absolutely some truth into that. I remember sitting next to him playing a piano and looking up at each other and just being happy. I was like, this is just an awesome moment because he's just so great at playing piano that I can just sit there and play something so basic and he can just improv the rest of it. And then it just turns into this beautiful collaborated art piece that we've made. It just made me really happy. And when I looked up at him, that's the moment that I got the inspiration for this song, where it was as happy as I am, it'll be a duet that could never be, and that's the next lyric too. So then we get to the bridge area. There's a red light in my head, but a green light in my chest. But there's also this yellow light that is self-conscious, telling me hey, you have tried it before, stop. As I was crying, playing piano the night that I had put this song together, I was getting choked up on the words and I couldn't quite get everything out, I felt. And so again, there's honesty in that story. That's the truth, and I wrote it down, and that's how this song got created. One of my favorite stories is actually from the day we ever first hung out years and years ago. One where I got chased around my couch in West Palm, and the type of wood that we have, when you're wearing socks, you just slip immediately, and that's what happened. I fell flat on my ass. But I also leave it at, you chased me around and I fell, because then it's up to the listener. Is it I fell for him, or did I fall on my butt? True story, I fell on my butt, but that also could be the day that I first ever fell for him. And then again, just sticking with the honesty in the story. It brings a tear to my eye to even try to write this as I'm literally trying to play on a wet piano. And I knew eventually he was absolutely going to hear this song. And there's a part where it changes. Normally it's in that moment where it's like in the future, in that moment where you look at me and I look at you and we're hearing the song together, we'll both agree. And the last one, it changes to, and in this moment, we'll both agree that this just isn't for us. And that just gets added really for melodic purposes, but also the song just gets so slow there that it's a form of surrender. And that's This Isn't For Us.